Hi everyone, hope you're all well. Welcome back to our channel, and in today's video I'm going to talk about the importance of soft skills in web design and web development. In this video we'll delve into the importance of soft skills and we'll explore why these skills are so valuable, how to improve on them, and talk a little bit about how they fit in the website development roadmap. So if you're a developer, designer, aspiring web professional, join me as we unlock the secret to becoming a well-rounded expert equipped to tackle any challenge that comes your way. So what exactly is meant by soft skills? Soft skills, also known as people skills or interpersonal skills, are non-technical skills that enable someone to interact effectively and harmoniously with other people. They encompass a wide range of personal attributes and behaviors that contribute to success in the workplace, personal relationships, and overall life. Unlike hard skills, which are specific to particular occupations or tasks, soft skills are transferable and applicable across various domains. Some key characteristics of soft skills include interpersonal skills, and this includes the ability to build and maintain positive relationships with others, including communication, teamwork, empathy, conflict resolution, and adaptability. Problem solving and critical thinking, so essentially the ability to identify and analyze problems, generate creative solutions, and make sound decisions as well. It may also involve the ability to manage one's own emotions, behaviors, and motivations effectively. This includes self-awareness, self-regulation, and time management, as well as stress management as well. Effective communication is a crucial soft skill that encompasses both verbal and non-verbal aspects. It involves active listening, clear articulation, and the ability to tailor communication to different audiences. Soft skills also involve the ability to adjust to changing circumstances, learn new things, and embrace different perspectives. And soft skills also involve the ability to adjust to changing circumstances, learn new things, and embrace different perspectives. Soft skills include demonstrating a strong work ethic, commitment to quality, and a professional demeanor in all aspects of work as well. Soft skills are something that are really highly valued by employers across various industries and job roles. They're considered essential for career advancement, leadership development, and overall success in the workplace. Studies have shown that strong soft skills can lead to higher job satisfaction, increased productivity, and improved employee engagement. So investing in the development of soft skills can significantly enhance your career prospects, improve your interpersonal relationships, and contribute to overall personal growth. So what soft skills are needed in web design and development specifically? Web design and development is a multifaceted field, and it requires a blend of technical expertise as well as soft skills. While hard skills like programming languages, knowledge in design software, and user experience are essential, soft skills play a crucial role in effectively collaborating with clients, understanding user needs, and delivering successful projects. Some key soft skills needed in web design and development include communication. And this is really paramount in web design and development because designers and developers need to clearly articulate their ideas to client, collaborate with team members, and explain technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. Strong written and verbal communication skills are essential for providing clear project updates and conveying design decision and addressing feedback. Web design and development often involve solving complex problems and making informed decisions. Designers and developers need to identify and analyze issues, brainstorm creative solutions, and evaluate different approaches to achieve project goals. Critical thinking skills enables them to assess the effectiveness of designs, identify potential roadblocks, and devise strategies to overcome challenges. The web design and development landscape is constantly evolving, and designers and developers need to be adaptable and flexible to keep pace with changing technologies, trends, and user expectations. They should be open to new ideas, willing to learn new skills, and comfortable adjusting their approach to meet the needs of a different project and clients. Web designers and developers need to put themselves in the shoes of their users to understand their needs, expectations, behaviors. Empathy allows them to design user experiences that are intuitive, accessible, and enjoyable. They should be mindful of different user groups, considering factors like age, technical proficiency, and cultural preferences as well. And web design and development involve working with intricate details from pixel-perfect layouts to precise code syntax. Strong attention to detail ensures that designs are visually appealing, function flawlessly, and adhere to accessibility standards. Developers need to be meticulous in their coding, ensuring that code is well structured, bug-free, and optimized for performance. Web design and development projects often involve multiple tasks, deadlines, and collaborations. Effective time management skills enable designers and developers to prioritize tasks, meet deadlines, and deliver projects within budget constraints. They need to be organized in their workflow, maintaining clear documentations, managing files effectively, and tracking project progress. And lastly, creativity and innovation. So web design and development is a really creative field, and it requires the ability to come up with fresh ideas, original solutions, and innovative approaches. Designers and developers should be able to think outside the box, explore new technology, and adapt existing concepts to create unique and engaging user experiences. All of these soft skills, along with technical expertise, contribute to the success of a web design and development project and professionals. By honing your soft skills, designers and developers, you can effectively collaborate, understand user needs, and deliver high-quality projects and advance their careers in this dynamic field as well. So let's talk about how to actually develop and improve your soft skills as a developer or a designer. It requires a combination of self-awareness, continuous learning, and active practice. So here are some specific strategies you can implement yourself. The first thing that you want to do is identify your strengths and areas for improvement. Reflect on your past experiences and interactions to identify the areas where you excel and those where you can sort of enhance your soft skills. You can also seek feedback from colleagues, any mentors, or clients to gain a more objective perspective. Instead of aiming for general improvement, define clear and measurable goals for each soft skill you want to develop. This could involve specific behaviors, actions, or outcomes that you want to achieve within a project. And actively seek out opportunities to apply your soft skills in real-world settings. This could be in volunteering for projects, participating in extracurricular activities, or taking on leadership roles in professional or community organizations. Enroll in online courses or attend workshops or read books and articles on soft skill development. You can stay updated on the latest trends and practices in the field of web design and development to ensure your soft skills remain relevant and effective. And regularly seek feedback, and this can be from peers, mentors, or supervisors on your performance and soft skill development. This feedback can be invaluable, and it can provide insight and help you identify areas for further improvement as well. Practice mindfulness and self-reflection to become more aware of your own emotions, behaviors, and motivations. This self-awareness is what's going to help you manage your emotions and communicate effectively, and empathize with others as well. Engage with other web design and development professionals through online forums, conferences, or local meetups. There are tons of them out there, and these communities will offer valuable support, mentorship, and opportunities to practice your soft skills as well. Seek out challenging projects, or essentially projects that push you out of your comfort zone and require you to apply your soft skills in new and unfamiliar situations. This will help you expand your capabilities and build your confidence in soft skill development. After each project or interaction, take time to reflect on your performance and identify where you could have improved, and use these insights to refine your approach in future endeavors as well. And lastly, embrace continuous improvement. So soft skill development is an ongoing process. It requires persistence and dedication. So embrace that journey of learning and growth and celebrate your progress along the way. Remember that soft skills are not just theoretical knowledge. They are by applying your knowledge and understanding in real-world situations. By actively practicing and seeking feedback, you can continuously develop and enhance your soft skills, becoming a more valuable and effective web design and development professional. So now let's talk a little bit about the website development roadmap. As you go through the roadmap, you can see where your soft skills will apply in each section, whether that's in the planning stage, the launch stage, the testing stage, etc.
The website development roadmap essentially will focus on the different stages that comes when you are building your own website, and we'll look at each of these stages in detail and go over any kind of software and programs that might be useful whenever you are working with each of these stages. So first of all, what is web development? Web development is the refers to the process of creating a website, from designing its layout and visual elements to writing code and programming the site's functionality. There are lots of tools and platforms available for website development, including popular content management systems or CMS like WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, as well as web development frameworks like Ruby on Rails, Django, and Laravel. It's also important to note that there are also loads of website builders out there, like the Wix ADI Builder, the Grid, Fire Studio, even builders for WordPress websites like Elementor and Divi, that are all designed to take out the technical and coding part of building a website and make it easier for people who aren't as technically minded to build their own website as well. And that all falls under web development. So with the web development roadmap, there are several key steps involved in website development, including planning, design, content creation, development, testing, and deployment. So starting off with the first phase, this is called the planning phase. In this first phase, you'll work with clients or stakeholders to define the goals and objectives of the website, as well as its target audience, features, and functionality. You'll also need to gather information about the client's brand, competitors, and industry as well. The planning stage is one of the most critical part of the website development process, as it sets the foundation for the rest of the project. There are several key steps involved in the planning stage of the website development roadmap. The first one being defining the goals and objectives. So this is when you will work with the client or stakeholders to determine the primary goals and objectives of the website. This can include objectives like increasing brand awareness or driving traffic to the website, generating leads, or making online sales. Another step that involves the planning stage is identifying the target audience. So determining who the site is for and create user personas to represent the different segments of the target audience. This will help you tailor the design of the website content and functionality to meet the needs of the user specifically. In the planning stage, you also want to determine the features and functionality. So based on the site's goals and target audience, identify the key features and functionality that will be included, and this can include e-commerce functionality, social media integration, a blog or news section, or a contact form. And then you want to also try and conduct a content review audit. So this is essentially reviewing any existing content that you have and identify gaps or areas for improvement. And you want to create a content plan that outlines what new content will be created, who will create it, and what will be published. You also want to develop a sitemap. So this will be a visual representation of the site structure and hierarchy, including all of the pages and sections that will be included. This will help ensure that the site is well organized and very easy to navigate as well. And lastly, you want to create a project plan. So develop a detailed plan that outlines the timeline, milestones, and deliverables for the project. This should include deadlines for content creation, design mockups, development milestones, and testing and launch dates as well. By taking the time to carefully plan out your website development process, you can help ensure that the final product meets your goals or your client's goals and objectives, and it's tailored to the needs of the target audience and is delivered on time and within budget. So the next phase is the design phase. So in this phase, you're going to create a visual design for the website, including its layout, colors, typography, and imagery. You can use wireframes or mockups to create a basic blueprint of the site structure and design. The design stage is a crucial part of the web development process as it sets the visual tone and style for the site. There are some key steps involved in the design stage as well. The main one being to gather inspiration. So before diving into the actual design work, it's important to gather inspiration and ideas for the website. This can involve reviewing competitors' websites, browsing design galleries, or looking at other websites outside of the client's industry for inspiration. Next then is creating wireframes. So wireframes are basic black and white layouts that outline the structure of the site's site's pages. They help to define the placement of key elements like header, footer, navigation, menu, and contact areas. And then you also want to develop a visual style. So this means just once the wireframes are approved, it's time to develop the visual style of the site. And this can involve creating a color palette, selecting typography, and determining the overall look and feel of the site. You also want to design mockups. So with the wireframes and visual style in place, it's time to create more detailed design mockups. And this will typically involve the site's header, footer, navigation, and content areas. And it can also include multiple versions for different device sizes and resolutions. For design mockups, you want to use tools like Webflow or Figma to really kind of bring your design ideas to life and have something to show potential clients, potential customers, investors, things like that. And it's something that you will then hand over to the developer once design is signed off, and they can see what the website also looks like as well. Next stage would be to review and revise. So once the initial design mockups are complete, they should be reviewed and revised based on feedback from the client or stakeholders. This can involve making adjustments to the layout, color palette, typography, or other elements of the design. And lastly, you want to finalize the design. Once the design has been improved, it's time to finalize the design files and prepare them for development. This can involve creating style guides or design specifications that outline how the design should be implemented in the code. Overall, the design stage is a crucial part of the website development process as it sets the tone and style for the site. By crafting a carefully visual design that meets the client's goals and appeals to the target audience, you can help ensure the site's success. The next phase then is the content creation. So in this phase, you'll create the text, images, and other media that will be included to the website. This can involve some copywriting, sourcing images or videos, and creating graphics or other visual elements. The content creation stage is a critical part of the website development process as it involves creating the text, images, and other media that will be featured on the site. Here are some key steps involved in this content creation stage. The first thing that you want to do is develop a content strategy. Before creating any content, it's important to develop this kind of strategy that outlines the goals and objectives of your site's content. And this can involve defining the target audience, identifying key messaging, and determining the type of content that will be featured on the site as well. And you also want to do keyword research. So if the site will include any kind of search engine optimization like SEO, it's important to conduct keyword research to identify the terms and phrases that the target audience is searching for. And this will kind of help ensure the site's content is optimized for search engines. And for that, you want to use tools like Ubersuggest or SEMrush to kind of see what you're currently ranking for, what people are searching for and finding you, and kind of build on that. You also want to write copy. So based on the content strategy and keyword research, it's time to actually write the copy and content for the site's website. This can involve writing headlines, body copy, calls to actions, otherwise known as CTAs, and optimize them for the target audience and search engines as well. The next part then, you also want to create visual assets. So in addition to copy, the content creation stage may also involve creating visual assets like image, infographics, and videos. These assets should be designed to support the site's messaging and appeal to the target audience. Next stage is the review and revise stage. So once the initial content is created, it should be reviewed and revised based on the feedback from the client or stakeholders. And this can involve making adjustments to the messaging, tone, or style of the content. And lastly, then you want to optimize for search engines. So if SEO is a goal for the site, and it usually is, the content should be optimized for search engines. This can involve including relevant keywords in the content, creating meta descriptions and title tags, and ensuring that the site structure and organization are optimized for search engines as well. Overall, the content creation stage is a critical part of the website development process as it sets the tone and messaging for the site. By carefully crafting your content that's tailored to the target audience and optimized for search engines, you can ensure that the site is effective in achieving its goals. Next stage then is the actual development stage, and this involves writing the code that will bring the website to life, including HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The development stage is where the actual website is built using programming languages and frameworks and other tools. Some key steps involved in the development stage involves setting up a development environment. So before beginning development work, it's important to set up a development environment on a local machine or a server, and this typically involves installing the necessary software like a web server, a database, a CMS, a text editor, or integrated development environment. Next thing then you want to develop is the site architecture, and this is essentially once the development environment is set up, it's time to begin developing the site architecture, and this just means creating the necessary files and folders and determining the overall site structure and deciding how the site will be organized and navigated. And then next thing you want to do is code the front end. So the front end of the website refers to the part of the site that users interact with, such as the design, layout, user interface, any buttons, contact forms, and things like that. This typically involves coding like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and may also involve using frameworks like Bootstrap or jQuery to streamline development. And in some cases, it can also just refer to some website builders like Divi or Elementor, where you can essentially take the coding part out of it and just build a website using sort of the drag and drop functionality. All that goes into the front end development as well. Next thing you want to do is code the backend. So the backend of the website refers to the part of the site that users don't see, the server-side logic, database management, and API integrations. This typically involves coding in languages like PHP, Python, or Ruby, and can also involve using frameworks like Laravel or Django. The next thing you want to do is implement the actual functionality. So once the front end and the back end are developed, it's time to implement the site's functionality. And this can involve integrating third-party APIs and setting up forms and other user interactions and ensuring that the site is responsive and mobile friendly, which is more and more important nowadays as Google is ranking websites that are responsive on different devices higher than the ones that don't. It's important to note that the coding, the front end, back end, and implementing the functionality, it's not very linear. You don't do the front end first and the back end and implement the functionality. You tend to do all these things at once. So you'll do a bit of the front end, then you'll move on to the back end, and then you'll do a bit of the functionality, then you'll go back onto the front end. So it's a mix of all three, but you're kind of doing it at the same time. It's not always as linear as you do this part first, then this part first, and then that part. The next thing then is to test and debug. So once the site is fully developed, it should be thoroughly tested to ensure that it works as expected. This can involve testing for bugs and errors, checking for compatibility with different browsers and devices, and conducting user testing to ensure that the site is intuitive and user-friendly. Lastly, you want to deploy and launch, and once the site has been tested and approved, it's time to deploy to a live server and launch to the public. This can involve things like setting up hosting, transferring the site files over to the server, and configuring DNS settings. The development stage is one of the later stages of the website development process, but it's still as important as the earlier stages, as it involves bringing the design and content to life, ensuring the site is functional, user-friendly, and has good user experience. By following a structured development process, testing the site thoroughly before you launch, you can help that the site meets the client's needs, meets your needs, and provides a really positive user experience. Next thing then is deployment, and this involves launching the website and making it available to the public. The deployment stage is the final stage of the website development process, and this is essentially when the site is made live and accessible to the public. There are some key steps involved in the deployment stage, and one of them is choosing a hosting provider. So before deploying the site, it's important to choose a hosting provider that meets your site's needs, and this can involve considering factors like server location, server resources, uptime guarantees, backup guarantees, customer support. If you want to find out more about how to choose a correct hosting provider, we have plenty of videos on our YouTube channel discussing the different types of hosting and how to choose the right type of hosting for you. Next thing then you need to do is actually set up your hosting. So once your hosting provider has been chosen, it's time to set up the hosting account and configure the necessary settings. This can involve creating a database, configuring FTP access, and installing any necessary software or frameworks. It's important to note though that if you pick, depending on what hosting provider that you pick, all of that might already be set up, and all you need to do then is actually just transfer your site files. And that would be the next step, to kind of transfer the site files from the development environment to the hosting account. This can involve FTP or web-based file manager to upload the files to the server. Next thing you want to do is test the site again. So once the site is live, it's really important to test it again to ensure that it's working as expected. This can involve checking for broken links, broken images, testing forms, making sure they're going into the right places, testing the user interaction, and ensuring that the site is optimized for different browsers and different devices. Then you want to launch the site. So once the site has been tested and approved, it's time to launch it to the public. And this can involve announcing the launch on social media or any other kind of public channels, submitting the site to search engines, and monitoring site traffic and performance from there. Lastly, then you want to make sure that maintenance and support is covered. So after the site has been launched, it's important to continue monitoring and maintaining it to ensure that it remains functional, it's up to date, over time. So by following a structured deployment process and providing ongoing maintenance and support, you can help ensure that the site meets the client goals and provides a really positive user experience. So, should you build a website by yourself or should you hire an agency? Deciding on whether to build a website fully yourself or hire an agency depends on a few factors, such as your own technical experience, the complexity of the website, your budget, and your timeline. If you have a good understanding of website development and design and you have the time and resources to create the website on your own, then building the website yourself may be a good option, and it can be way more cost effective as well, as you won't have to pay for agency services and you'll have full control of the website development process. If you're interested in figuring out how to build your own website yourself, there's loads of platforms out there. Wix, WordPress, all come with website builders that essentially allow you to build your website. There's loads of platforms out there to find one that kind of suits your own technical needs and find one that suits your functionality. To find out more, you just click through our YouTube channel. We have lots of videos showing tutorials about all of that as well. However, if you don't have the technical experience or the time to develop the website on your own, it might be, or maybe because it's a more complex website with advanced functionality, then hiring an agency might be a better option. An agency will have experienced developers and designers who can create custom websites that meet your specific needs, and they can provide ongoing support and maintenance to ensure that the site remains functional and up to date over time. Ultimately, the decision to build a website yourself or hire an agency depends on your individual needs and preferences. If you have the expertise and resources to develop the site on your own, then building the website might be a cost-effective solution. However, if you need a more complex site or don't have the necessary expertise, then hiring an agency can help ensure that your site is developed to a high standard and meets your specific needs. Here at Profile Tree, we're a leading Irish web design and develop agency, and our team of developers and web designers offer the knowledge and expertise to showcase your brand in the way that it deserves. Whether you need a sophisticated e-commerce solution or a simple and attractive website for your small business, we take a bespoke approach to all of our web design clients, delivering websites which perfectly match their goals and expectations.
And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share with anyone that you think would find it interesting. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the section below, and I'll see you in the next one.